Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Autumn has arrived in the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
Hey, check back, back six. Watch the pass.
On 1st and 10, Harrison. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hey, check back.
They'll look to throw again. He'll buy some time right. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Big completion there on 3rd and short keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, check back six.
Back to throw. Harrison. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
We both know it's a league where they seemingly throw the ball in just about every play. But watching him perform last week where he threw 3 touchdown passes still caught my eye in a big way.
Still kind of the gold standard, 3 touchdown passes, isn't it? And for his efforts last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I can't wait to see what he does this week.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action. Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Evans. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson unable to corral him. He fights through, and he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him...
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Calais Campbell fighting his way home for the sack. From the gun on third down. Harrison airing one out for Boyd. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, they went for all the marbles there on that long pass. He caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
So difficult, isn't it? Because you have so many things you're going through on that play. Trying to get open, trying to catch the ball, and still get your feet down to complete the process of the play. Not successful on that attempt.
So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Jackson now. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
It'll be a 45-yard punt, and couple that with a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals getting set to go. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. They're going to try and throw. Steps away. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Not sure I agreed with the decision to go for it, but I definitely agreed with his decision to run it. He picked up that big 1st down. I think he let his head coach off the hook.
That's what I was just going to say. If there's anybody more happy than the quarterback picking it up, it's the coach that saw him pick it up. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Check back 6. Focus, defense, focus.
Throwing on 1st down. Harrison. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college.
And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson looking sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Again, Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think in this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And here's Jackson on the option. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Harrison. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Marcus Peters up to make the tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Operating from the gun, Harrison. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. C.J. Uzama, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now it's Jackson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Harrison. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, Wilson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw again. He finds his man complete. That's Morgan. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Now, all through this one, they've had nothing but success throwing the football and in the passing game. Here we are in the 4th quarter, a time you'd think they'd be running the football. They're still tossing it around and having great success, and it appears a whole lot of fun as well.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Once again, they run with Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Calais Campbell on the stop. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Able to find Higgins. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the gun, Harrison out to his left. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Space to run past the 20. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. 31 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that might just seal the deal here. It makes it a 2-score game with not a lot of time on the clock. A 10-play drive that time. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 9. A minute 55 remaining. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Here's Jackson. Finding Watkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Jackson to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Operating from the gun, Harrison. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson. McPherson. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Now it's the Ravens' turn, trailing by 5. A little over 50 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Jackson. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Throwing, Jackson. Oh, into a sea of defenders, have intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Finding room to the 20. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big pickup there on the scramble.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Looking to throw. Harrison. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Cincinnati, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.